All today we are going to see about design thinking based discussion on B-spline curves, so which comes under the course computer graphics and visualization. So before going into the discussion, let me explain what B-spline curve is. So the concept of B-spline curve came to resolve the disadvantages having by Bézier curve, as we all know that both the curves are parametric in nature. So in Bézier curve, we face a problem. When we change any of the control point in the respective location, the whole curve shape gets changed. So but here in B-spline curve, the only a specific segment of the curve shape gets changes or affected by changing the position of the control point. So in Bézier curve, we'll be having the global control, but in B-spline curve, we'll be having the local control over the control points. So let's move on to the discussion now.
Hi team, today we are going to discuss about the spline curves. We are going to use spline curves in the project and how spline curves working in the real world applications, not just the code. We are going to apply our design thinking framework into the project and we are going to discuss about it.
Empathize, understanding the problem. So first we ask, who are we designing for?
So maybe game developers or animators. They need smooth paths for characters or camera movements.
Even architects or engineers use spline modeling for curves in CAD software.
Once they struggle, using a straight line to model a roller coaster, tracking simulations. Splines would have made it smooth.
Let's understand what real users need. Smooth, predictable and flexible curves in design software.
Okay, define, framing the problem. Our problem is to design a visual and interactive spline curve tool that helps artists or designers create smooth shapes easily.
And it should support different types of splines like B-splines or cat multi-row curves.
Plus, it should user move control points, review the curve and see how changing point affect the shape.
We should include the visual guide and segment colors to show the curve behavior.
And keep the interface simple, like something even beginners can use.
Okay, ideate. Let's brainstorm some solutions. What if we make a canvas where users click to place control points and the spline curves update in real time?
We can code that in Python using pgame or OpenGL. It arrays to store control points.
I'll handle the math. We can implement uniform B-splines first and then try cat multi-row splines which pass through control points.
I will work on the visual element. Maybe use different colors for color points, lines, and the curve.
I'll gather examples of spline using real tools like Maya, SolidWorks and SVGs for a report and presentation.
Okay, prototyping. Let's build the first version of our model.
Here, the prototype, click the place control point, drag to move them, then curve update using this equation.
I added the math model for cat multi-row splines. These look smoother and actually pass through the points.
Yeah, I built a simple UI around it. Labels show the type of spline selected. Users can switch between spline modes.
The visuals are updated, the control points are red, the lines are blue, and the splines curves in yellow. It looks clean.
I added a help guide explaining how spline curves are used in design software. We are ready to test.
Testing. We'll get some feedbacks. Here are interactive spine curves editor. Users can add, move or remove control points and choose between two spline types.
This shows the power of spline curves. B-splines for smooth control and cat multi-row for extract paths.
The visual helps you to understand how whether edit change the style. I will intimate and real.
So this seems very responsive. I love this tool. The curve is evolving as I move the point. This is very good. This seems to be a very good idea.
Not yet, but we can add the future next. Features.
This project helps us connect user needs with math, code and design. Spline curves aren't just formulas, they're creative tools.
So you have applied your design thinking framework well in all the 5 stages. I think it seems this project works well if it is built in.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.